Hey! Well, hi, a watercolorist. That's the first time we see you in the live streams, isn't it? First! Because, I mean, you're gonna have to be first. Let me know if you can see and hear. Yes, I can see and hear well. Awesome, thank you. How are you? And yeah, this is a bit, this is more of a crafting stream where I kind of set out to see if I could finish these Christmas ornaments for in time for the holidays. Ew, why is there a bug? Ew. Happens. We had the windows open, so maybe that's where it came from. This is not real wool felt, so there shouldn't be any moths in them. I came to know about your live streams a few days ago. All good, thanks. I hope you're well too. Yeah, I'm doing okay. I'm doing okay. So yeah, it's crafting for now because that's a bit of a change of pace from painting. I do a lot of that during the week. Usually I invite people to either craft along or paint along, so it's kind of like a big artsy party. So now I'm just trying to figure out what they want me to attach to it. Okay, so that's supposed to be trained on it. Okay. And yeah, the whole thing with these penguins is that it's a craft kit that I got as a kid in the 90s. And I had started on it, but never really finished it. And the thing is it's fairly complex, and also it's all in English. And I think that back then I didn't speak English, or couldn't read it well enough to understand what I had to do. So I had started on some of the penguins, but then stopped because it was a bit too hard. And I decided, I've been like hauling this kit around for years now. So I was like, maybe I should finish it. And then it became like trying to finish it in time for Christmas. Nah, too sleepy to do any crafting or painting. Oh, you still have crafts? I do. I don't have a lot. I had a few like craft kits that I got as a kid that I never really got rid of because they had some sort of sentimental value. This one was given to me by an aunt that passed not long after, and I had half started it, so I was a bit, on the fence about what to do with it. So I would just, move it with me every time I moved. And then I realized, I was like, you know what, maybe it's time I get to finish this one. But yeah, it's extra like weird and messy, and I can show you. I have like, this is Penguins 3 and 4 that I'm working on right now. Penguins 1 and 2 are almost finished, but like this is one of them almost finished. This is the other one that's almost finished. And basically what these two, this one I need to finish sewing it up, obviously. But I need to set it up so that one of them is holding a kind of a candy cane, and the other one is meant to be holding a shovel of sorts that they keep calling a broom in the little instructions. I hope that you get them. I think I only still have my Legos to... Yeah, I mean, Legos are... they're always, like, in fashion. You cannot... They sort of can't get too old. And also they can be quite practical to use even nowadays. Like, I've seen people use an assortment of Legos all, like, attached together to make a template for drawing. So they have this, like, square, and they put it on their sketchbook, trace around it, and there you go. But you can customize it, like, depending on the format you want. And I thought that was really clever. It's kind of a running joke in my small family that I feel like I missed out because I would ask my parents for Legos and they would never give me Legos. But they would always give my brother Legos. And I tried everything I could. I was like, oh, but you can get me, you know, the girly Legos. That was way before they came up with the Friends line. But, you know, they had these girl Legos. The accent on the box was like this bright magenta color. And there was stuff like a holiday resort and the poolside and whatnot. And I really liked these. I mean, I didn't care. Legos are Legos. And the most I ever got was the little ice cream stand. And I really had to, you know, like, plead. But no, Legos, they were for my brother. Oh, you remember the girly Legos? They were cool, weren't they? Like, they were not really girly, they were just cool, and instead of being like, oh, you have the police car and the whatever and this, and it was just like, well, it's the beach resort, and this is like the camper, and this is the ice cream stand, and I was like, well, I mean, I don't care, it's all fun anyway. I think eventually my poor ice cream stand got swallowed up in my brother's stash of Legos. I have no idea where it went. Never bought them as a guy, they never appealed to me. Sorry to hear that about your ice cream stand. Rip. Yeah. I mean, it's somewhere. That's... You know, now my brother has 2 kids and there are 2 girls. So I hope... Like, my brother is not really stuck up with this stuff, but I hope that eventually the girls will get into the Legos. And they will dig up all the ice cream stand pieces, like the really ice creamy ones. Like, I remember they had these, you know, these really flat ones that you just pop onto other block to add some sort of like decoration. Does that make sense? And I had a few ones that were like you would pop them onto the other ones to be like the ice cream bins. So I hope they dig out these ice cream bin designs from the really huge bin of, like, my brother had a humongous Rubbermaid bin of Legos, and somewhere in there there's a couple of flat pieces and an ice cream scoop. So I hope that his kids, his daughters, will get around to that and create awesome stuff with the Legos. It was really weird because, like, my parents, they wouldn't be really adamant about buying me girly toys either. Like, I think all in all, as a kid, I had perhaps 3 brand new Barbies. I had a lot of weird hand-me-downs, like really ancient Barbies from relatives and whatnot, but like brand new Barbies in the box, I had 3. And one of them wasn't even a Barbie, it was like one of her friends that no one cares about. And like Playmobiles were not the toy I would get either. I would get clothes, like clothing, which sucks. Oh my god, what a terrible gift. Like, you cannot be psyched about getting clothes that you didn't choose yourself as a kid. But yeah, the aunt that gave me this kit was really cool. She also gave me my first kit of like, you know, the Fimo kind of clay that you can mold. You can like build stuff with it and then you bake it and it's permanent. And she give me like this craft kit. I know what you mean. I want toys. Yeah! Like, the clothing that my mom picked. Ugh. It was so boring. Like, you open up a gift and it's like, oh, a cardigan for school, because it's like fancy a bit. So it's not for wearing like at home in the weekend. It's for fancy occasions. You're like, yay! Oh, I am so happy. Like, it's Christmas. Get me toys. Ugh. I took my revenge years later as an adult, in the sense that now I have quite a few Lego sets that I really like. So I have the I have quite a few Lord of the Rings. Do I have a few, or do I have just the one? No, I think I have 2. I have 2 Lord of the Rings, one from the Hobbit movies, because elves. I appreciate the present, but it's not toys, to be honest. I still want toys. Expensive Lego toys. Yeah, exactly. And then I got a kit from the Lego movie because of the Unikitty character. And I have a few sets from Captain America, and I have a few sets from Lightyear. The Lego movie was so much fun. It really was. Also, the guys who made that movie, the directors, they're a pair of guys that always work together, almost. And I've always been a fan of their work. So when I saw that they had done the Lego movie, I was like, oh, I know this is gonna be good. You know? The best commercial ever, seriously. They did a really good job with it. And funny thing, the Lightyear movie, it's not a movie that a lot of people have seen, but I was reading on the production aspect of things, and I read that to design the ships in that movie, the designers used Legos. So it went from Legos to designs to 3D models, and then some of those were brought back to Legos again to be sold as Lego kits. Bucks of Paint, hey! Hope it's been a great weekend. Yeah, it's been good so far. I hope yours is going well too. Yuri! Hey! Hello! Kitty! Who's that? That's Berlioz. He looks like a guy who found the stash of kibble I put outside and just ate a bunch of it. Hey, kitty! We went dancing last night and it was a lot of fun, but we're old and super worn out today. Oh no! Well, it's the weekend, so you can have a really chill day at home with hot cocoa and, you know, all the good stuff. Does Otto hang around? Yeah, she usually comes in the streams if she's not busy otherwise. But yeah. I'm a bit late. Daylight savings happened here, so you're starting. Oh, that's true. An hour earlier than usual for me. Oh, maybe that's why Otto is not there yet. Like for us here in Canada, daylight savings is tonight or Sunday night, something like that. Hold on, I'll poke Otto. But yeah, I think I'm the only one in North America between everyone in the stream right now. So chances are you're all at the change time zone, and I'm not. I don't know why it's not all the same day for everyone who does it. That's the weird part. Because it's like why would we on purpose make it super difficult for everyone to figure it out, you know? Like who's on it, who's not on it, when does it changes? When does it change? I'm so over daylight savings, seriously. There was a kind of a petition type thing to the Canadian government about can we stop doing this? It's stupid. It's so stupid. We lost an hour of the evening and it makes no sense. It just like can we pick one and stick with it and that's it. We'll work with it. We'll work around it. It doesn't impact anything. Like apparently everything we hear about why it's there, like for the farmers to save up on electricity, it's all BS. Yeah, that's so weird. Time is already so weird with time zones and all. Reminds me of Doctor Who. Time is woodly. Yeah, if chances are Otto is maybe still eating dinner. Where I live, we stopped it for a few years and returned to daylight savings. Why? Why? Was it not working to just get rid of it? Or is it just like politicians politicizing? It pisses off Emmy and Bear to no end that they're... Yeah! Well, I mean, there's one time in the year that they like it because it's earlier, but setting it back an hour is the one time of year where they get so annoying. Because they don't read watches, they don't give a crap about time zones. They're cats. They're like, oh, it's dark, give me food. Yeah, it's dark, but it's 3 p.m. I don't care, give me food. Nothing felt different when there was no daylight savings. It was so easy. Yeah, it's I don't know why, and apparently it even it can have an impact on people's health in a really bad way to switch time around like that twice a year. I feel like it's always when you finally get into a routine of being able to fall asleep at a decent hour, and then you have to skip the time around and you're all borked up again. Oh, it's dark, give me food. I mean, if you have pets or have had pets, that's definitely the way they figure it out. Like since they don't really have a notion of hour and time, their behaviors are based on the daylight or the lack thereof. Also temperature, depending on if they're outdoorsy or not. But yeah. Being far north in the winter, we need all the daylight we can get. So do the winter one, because in the summer it's daylight till almost PM. That's plenty. That's my reasoning too. That's because they when I mentioned the kind of poll or petition they had us they made available to fill. The questions were like, would you like daylight savings to stop? Yes, no, and if so, which time schedule would you prefer keeping? And I personally said winter time, but I don't care. Just pick one and stick to it, please. Please, we'll manage. We'll get up earlier. Like, it's fine. We're supposed to follow, like, in the ideal circumstances. We don't follow like clocks. We follow daylight. So you wake up at daylight and you kind of go to bed when daylight goes out. Somewhat, because yeah, going to bed at 3 p.m. in the winter is not ideal, but you also wake up at like 5 because that's when the sun starts creeping out. I'm sleeping so bad since daylight savings happened. I got super tired in the beginning and now I have trouble falling asleep. If I'm getting jet lag, it should be somewhere. Not just waking up exhausted on a Tuesday. I agree. There's a YouTube channel that I quite enjoy watching at times, and it's, I think her name is Cecilia Blumhall or something, Blumdahl, something like that. And she lives on one of the northmost livable place on the globe. It's the island of Svalbard. And she's getting into the polar winter, where there's no sunlight eventually. Like, it gradually goes from less to less to less to no sunlight. And then in the summer you have the other way around, right? Or something like that. I always mix them up. Good morning, people already have us in a chokehold by planning everything so early, and now we're switching time for them. Oh yeah, the woman from Svalbard, she's so cool. Her dog is so cute. Grim is adorable. Though I was so bummed out. Well, I mean, for various things, but also when she mentioned that on Svalbard you cannot have cats. I was like, oh no. I understand why and all of that, but I was still bummed out. Like, what do you mean, no cats? How do you live without cats? Makes no sense to me. The company I work for is India-based and been with them for 13 years. Wow. And still can get used to the 4.5. 0.5? That's mental. Sorry. That's just so weird. I remember watching the, looking at the map of the time zones in, Australia. And they have time zones that are a half-hour difference. And I'm like, what the? Why? Weird. I know, I love waking up when I want to and then ease myself. Yeah, and naturally doing so. But yeah, that's really not something a lot of people can do in the current, context. Oh my. Scout has opinions on it. She's like, Mom, shut up. I'm sleeping. Quiet, Mom. Yeah, no sun during winter, always sun in the summer. That's to me that sounds really fascinating because it's so different, but I can also see why you gotta be so weirded out by it. No, typing, that's Mr. E, who's behind me and typing. Merci pour la démonstration. He has a mechanical keyboard, so extra typey. This is a small office, and there's me, there's Mr. E, and there's a cat. So you might hear some things. Tu les as fait rire. And Shiro's at the window. Hi, Shiro. Again, for the 12th time today. She's like, I want to come in. Open the window. I don't like when it's cold. My brain just won't let me schedule that meeting, so MSAI is very helpful. Oh no, no cats, we would not survive. I know! I mean, they do it for valid reasons, but it kind of hurts my soul because you guys know how much of a cat person I am, and I would probably be fine, get a dog and eventually get it, or just no pets, but a part of me hurts because that means you never see any of them. I have 2 cats, but I get 8 visitors on a regular basis, and when I go on walks, I see cats in the windows, and I remember where they are, so I always see cats around, and I love cats. And to imagine a place where there's nothing, no cats, I would need a yearly trip to either Turkey or Cat Island in Japan. Allez voir. C'est quand j'ai dit mechanical keyboard.
C'est moins typé en plus.
Ouais. Open a cat cafe on the border. Oh, I wish. But it's an island. There's no border, really. And I don't think the cats would take to a floating cat cafe, on a boat. We at least get a few hours of dark in the summer, but if you go to bed... Oh, yeah. Over there, you need help to sort of keep a circadian rhythm that makes sense. I feel like over here, yeah, it's very bright in the summer and very dark in the winter, but I feel like it balances out, and I don't really need, like, we have a very small window in the bedroom, but we never close the blinds. A floating city of kitties. I would love that. They would not, but I would. But yeah, the Svalbard authorities, whatever, they're really adamant about their set of rules. And I think Svalbard is also the island where you have this big repository of all the like plant seeds on the planet, and this kind of doomsday preservation thing. I've been loving the fall and the dark. I have so much more energy now that summer is over. Really? Right now it's dark out. I'm in my comfy chair with a candle on. I'm living. That sounds lovely. I think if we let ours out, Emmy would definitely hunt things. Bear is mostly interested in bugs. Yeah, I understand, like, but I don't know. Like, I fully get it, but the part of me that's the bona fide hardcore to the bone cat lady is like, but what if I have them spayed or neutered, and I keep them indoors and they never go out, but yeah, I understand why they don't want to have pets on such a small, fragile ecosystem, because cats are a nuisance. They really mess up ecosystems. I get that. I see it. I remember Shiro when she was, catching birds on a regular basis. And I had to, like, hurry outside to try to save the birds. She doesn't do it as much, and there's been so much squirrels. And it's entertaining for the cats, but they don't really try to catch them. Like, they do it more for sport than for actual, like, hunt. In the sense that they run after them, they climb the trees a bit, but they don't actively try to hurt the squirrels. And the squirrels are kind of fearless, to be honest. I've seen a few of them just straight out go down the tree, on the grass, in front of the cats, and they're just like, you won't catch me. And I'm like, okay. I wish I had this level of confidence. I need water. Alright, I got my huge bottle of water. But we have bushes full of birds and so many cats around here. I don't think it's a doomsday thing. It's normal for countries to keep seeds. But the thing is I think they have, like, seeds from all over the planet. Not just Sweden, because I think Svalbard is part of Sweden. Sweden? Sorry. The one bird Amy caught, she kept letting go in the house, and I was freaking out. She thought it was so much fun. Oh, Svalbard is part of Norway. Oh, sorry. Norway, then. It's, like, from an exterior point of view, it's kind of really hard to differentiate all these Scandinavian countries. Like, I'm not knowledgeable about them in general to be able to figure them out. I should definitely remedy that, though. As much as we love our cats, the cats themselves don't harbor the same love for the critters around them. Dude, they don't stand other cats. Some of them don't stand humans. They kill everything they can. Close enough, they're our neighbors. Now she knows she just has to make Puss in Boots eyes at hubby, and he'll get anything she wants to eat. But yeah, Shiro, she was so good. In a span of like 2 weeks, she caught 3 birds. And I was so, like, I'm looking for the right word. Words. I was kind of shocked because they go so fast and you really don't think they caught anything, and then you see they caught the bird. And I would rush out in a panic, but she would mostly just catch them and not hurt them. And the birds would do their best to play dead, which serves them well because they hope that the cat will sort of release their grasp on them and they will get a chance to fly away. 2 of the birds managed to fly away like that. The very first one was so terrified, poor little thing, that I managed to scoop him up, or scoop the bird up in like paper towels, and I walked it to the park nearby and found an area of high grass to release it. Sorry. But yeah, like, you just see the cat jump and you're like, oh, she missed it. But no, she did not. She got it. And it's always like, ugh. You don't have, like, it's your instinct to hunt, but you really don't have to. You get so much kibble. You get so much temptations. While we were out last night, she took a blanket and made a nest in his spot on the... Oh, that's adorable. That's so cute. It's cat nest season fully. I'm guessing that bear doesn't really need to build up nests. But Emmy is a smaller kitty, so I figured that she must be like a scout in that regard, that she quite likes to be warm. And it's much harder to be warm in the winter. Ungrateful potato that she is. I'm the one that got her here. Yes. Sounds about right. Honestly though, I do love how much... Oh yeah, that's... It is heartwarming, isn't it? To see a pet, like a cat or a dog, find a human that they love so much and feel safe around. And you're like, ah, this is good. This is the good life. It's fun when he's on client calls and she turns him into a jacuzzi. And Bear is my baby. Aww. Cats. I love cats so much. Tam has made a habit of leaving her comfy blanket when we leave the room and sleep on the dinner table to be with you guys instead of being like in the room alone. I think my favorite part of pets is to give them the space they need to fully grow into their own character. And it's always like so rewarding, in my opinion, to see a pet be really comfortable and be fully who they are in your presence. There's a bit too many people who try to force behaviors upon pets, and it's just, not ideal, I think. That's sweet. I think they like to be wherever they have the best chance of seeing. Yeah. Like, of course, they're pets. They have smaller brains. They don't perceive things as we do, but there's still some of their behaviors that are quite clear. Like, if a pet is sleeping in another room and suddenly shows up in the room you're in and rubs against your ankles, I mean, they're happy to see you. They wanted to come see you, and you're like, oh, that's cute, you know. We have an open floor plan, so the dinner table and couch are in the same room. When we are at the table, she lays in the chair. But the moment we completely leave the room, she heads for the... It's like she waits until you guys are done with the table. We've watched Emmy dozens of times on camera. When she hears our car, she jumps up the window to make it look like she's been there. Oh, I love cats. Oh, they're priceless. I love it so much. She always lays on my brother's planner. Like, why? You don't know you're not a cat. Never underestimate what can be comfortable to a cat. My cat, when I was a kid, my childhood cat would always systematically come to lay down on my math homeworks. I mean, it cannot have been that comfortable. Like, it's a big, like, it's paper, sure, but it's a big book. But yeah, systematically the cat would loaf on my math homework. And I mean, I've seen Scout sleep in such weird position where she's basically at a 90-degree angle within herself. And she sleeps like that, so it can't be that, you know, that uncomfy, but it doesn't look comfy, that's for sure. Like, it's a freaking right angle. You're not supposed to be at the 90 degrees. For now, though, she's sleeping under her blanket because it is officially cold. All right, what's next? That's the pro of having horses. They won't sleep on your table with you. Well, you better hope not. I think it's a lot harder to hide that a horse slept on the table than a cat slept on the table. Cats are made of Newtonian liquid. All squishy and flexible, then solid like a rock when they jump. Yeah, absolutely. Or like you try to pick them up from the floor and suddenly they weigh a ton. I don't think my table would survive that. I don't think any table would survive that. Attach appliques 32 through 32 in numerical. Ugh, these numbers. 30, 31, 32. Which ones are they? Oh, they're the feet and the earmuff to the body. Though I think the earmuff is easier to attach to the hat first, kind of. Maybe I should just glue as many of them as I can. There's a person in my town at home that has a buffalo that comes in and out of their house. A buffalo! Wow. The surgery table they use at the clinic probably would, but I don't usually eat my dinner off that. It's kind of a different setting. So that's 30, I need 31. Oh, that's the feet. These two for now, and also these two for later, and this is not messy at all. At all. Oh gosh, sorry, I forgot about the... I think we all forgot. But it's fine, it's fine. It should be back to normal next weekend. Ellen! Hey! I've been a weird week health-wise. Had to have an iron infusion. How are you recovering from the infusion? Is it helping? I am in fact not immortal. Aw. Fortunately, none of us are. And it's a bummer. All right. Ended up having to take most of the week off. Tried to go back to work on Wednesday. Ended up short of breath. And at the... Ooh. Heart was given... Yeah, that... Whew, hopefully. Dude. I feel like this stuff is kind of so hard. It's so hard to manage because, like, you get so used to winging it on your own that good luck figuring out if like something is good to go or not. Like, how are you supposed to tell if you're ready to go back to work or not? Because you get so used to pushing through stuff, but there's some things that you really can't push through. You have to wait until they settle, you know. But like, we're so used to, oh, you have a cold, well, go to work anyway. Oh, you're sick, go to work anyway. Oh, you don't feel too great, it's just life. Sometimes it's you gotta take a break though. You gotta chill. Are you eating all the steak? I don't know if that helps, but just need to rest more. Yeah, you gotta build up those irony blood cells, right? Well, it's like we are in the middle of neighbors fighting for who can set off the most fireworks. Right now? What's the occasion for the fireworks? even if we're not immortal, spending the rest of eternity in the afterlife with you guys. It would be a really good time, wouldn't it? I agree. That's a really sweet sentiment, Yuri. I was told it will take a couple of weeks to feel a noticeable difference. Really? But I can get a breath to the bottom of my lungs again for the first time in ages. Oh, wow. Dang. 5th of November. But that's not today. We're the 2nd of November. Also, 5th of November, there will be the vote in the US. Oh no, I just found a flea on my... No! What's it doing there? Who has fleas? Like the kitties? Or like, do horses get fleas? Dude, I know that. Oh, okay. Okay, so... so other people don't care. I think one side is late Diwali. Diwali? Do they say Diwali or Diwali? And a couple for 5th of November, and then the teens. That's a combo. We've had fireworks lately because folks locally are celebrating Diwali. Diwali, okay. My source for possibly knowing about Indian pronunciation is really weird, and it's from watching so many scam bait videos on YouTube. And they have a tendency to turn all the W's into V's. So I was like, which is kind of nice to like have other cultures than white Christian. I agree, fully agree. Like over here, it's also when there's a soccer match that, like when you have the World Cup, and whoever wins a match, and you can hear like cars in the street as if it was a wedding, but no, it's just like sports stuff. That means we did not get rid of all the fleas since treating the best. No! Oh, that's annoying. Festival of Lights, so fireworks are super common. Makes sense. No. Thank God Greta can get fleas. Okay, phew. She can get lice, but I believe there are different lice. Ugh. We kind of need to torch all of these. The ticks, the fleas, the lice, the moths. Like the moth, can we just torch it all? Just get rid of it. Ugh. They're all the pain in the ass critters. Like bugs and stuff. Ah, roaches too. Ugh. YouTube suggested me a short recently about a type of wasps that will sting roaches, and the way it works is that the venom that they inject kind of makes it so the roach loses its free will, whatever you can call that for a roach. So the wasp will lure it into its nest alive, and the roach will just follow along because it doesn't know any better. And then the wasp's babies will feed on the live roach for a while. Lovely, cute, nature, wee! I agree. No more ticks, fleas, lice. The pain in the ass. Damn the roaches. Yeah, it gets kidnapped. That was a strange culture shock in the UK. At home, if a kid had lice, the whole school went into freak out mode. Everyone is super chill about it. Really? Huh. I'm not surprised, though, that North America overreacts to lice. Find me something that America does not overreact to, and that will be impressive. We used to have bags at school that we needed to put our coat in so that the lice wouldn't jump from coat to coat. Guns. Yeah, that's a very fair. Yeah, they're not very scared of guns, aren't they? Oh, this is depressing. Gasps. Wasps are really amazing. They are why we have gull ink. Really? How did we... How do they kind of work this out? I mean, they're amazing, but they're also very stingy and painful and kind of dangerous. So oh shit. Shoot. I put glue on before I was ready, so the glue will dry up. And I'll have to put more glue, I guess. You can tell that kid me was using really crappy scissors to cut the felt out because oof. Glued on. Wasps lay eggs in the bark and the tree reacts by making the gall. Whoa. They have workshops in their hives. If I could see the pictures in my head, it would just be cartoons 24/7. It sounds amazing. So, I think most of us in chat are about the same age range. Perhaps except Yuri. Yuri, I think you're a bit younger than the rest of us. But maybe you know, do you guys remember in any kind of way a animated TV series for kids that was, I don't know, what would be the titles in English? I have no idea. In French it was like if I translate it literally, it was like, Once upon a time, life. Il était une fois la vie. And basically it would be this animated series that would follow characters inside the human body. And they would use the characters to explain all the human functions and the cells and whatnot. And they had one that was about space too, I think. Like there was a couple of them where you had basically the same characters, but the setting was different. and it would explore like all kinds of informative knowledge functions. So that's kind of what I see when I read Box of Paint, talking about like seeing everything in a cartoon, because they would explain like, oh, the way the blood exchanges oxygen, and it would be like dudes that are blood cells, and the other dudes carry oxygen boxes, and they mix. You know, it would be really like very a figurative way of explaining it. I just turned 33. I'm just a wee lad. It's good to be young, I guess. Kind of. I always feel like age is not really a factor of anything in life. It's stuff more like health and you know, like situation and that kind of stuff. I feel like age is it's not really relevant, really. As long as you're healthy, like, it doesn't really matter what age you are and all of that. Still nice to have you. Absolutely. However, I do remember a show like the one you're describing. I think I watched it at school. Yeah, that's exactly the kind of show they would show in school. And if I remember right, it was a... Oh, it was weird. It was a... Italy, France, possibly Japan co-production. So you could find it like everywhere. Nope, age is a factor, health goes down with it. It is a factor, but it's not as ultimate a factor as you can make it out to be. Because you can have really young people that have a difficulty with their health, and you can have older people that have difficulty with their health, but you also have the opposite. Like, it's not as impactful metric as it could be. Like, it's not the be-all end-all of all the metrics. Does that even make sense? Am I making sense? Maybe not. I don't remember, like, of course age is a factor. I can feel it in my bones, literally. But also, like, I know that there are older people and younger people that are either healthier or less healthy than me, so it's a variable. I don't remember the show personally, but I was more of a Bill Nye the Science Guy and Beakman's World kind of kid. I don't remember ever seeing any of these translated to French. So I don't know, maybe. It's that time of year, a couple of weeks before my birthday, that I forget every year. Oh, oh no. Once Upon a Time Life is available on YouTube. That's not surprising to me. Our gym has a machine that tells you how old you're currently. Oh no. Oh no, that doesn't sound pleasant. It was mortifying. That's a good way to put it. I'm so sorry. Oh no. I was not prepared for that word either. Oh no. did. Oh, okay, sorry. I was not ready. Sorry, okay. Whew. All right. I'm recovered, I think. I'm glad you guys don't mind because I don't think I could stop myself from laughing when you guys say something that destroys me. Hey, Lana! Hi! A box of paint broke me. Both of us for flexibility, it gave us 67. Dude, I think 67 is not too bad. I'm pretty sure it would get worse. I've never been flexible. So I'm short and I'm stocky, and on top of all of that, I've never been flexible. Not even the thing like, oh, as a kid you're flexible but you lose it. I was never flexible. So, you know, when they have you it's gonna be so hard to explain with words, but when they kind of have you sit with your legs outstretched in front of you, like together, and you rest your feet upon a weird device, and then you try to bend at the waist forward and to reach out with your hands, like, and to push a thing that basically tells you how flexible your back is. And I can barely do it. And I remember, like, that was 10 years ago, so you know it's worse by now. But the the poor employee at the gym was like, okay, so now you push this thing and we see just how flexible you are. And I push it and he's like, no, but you gotta push it. I'm like, I'm trying. This is me pushing it. And he's like, no, but it's not even reaching like the beginning of the ratings on the machine. And I'm like, deal with it, bro. Like, what am I supposed to do with that info? I am not flexible. I am a brick. You know who has never twisted an ankle so far? This brick. Like boomers thinking zoomers are spoiled brats and zoomers thinking millennials are cringe. We might be cringe though. As a millennial, I fully accept that assessment. I'm just glad I'm not a boomer. Your age, 120. Your age, no. Why do you think one side of your body is more flexible than the other? A watercolorist. I was once a human pretzel, but can't touch my toes now. No pretzeling was ever done here. No, I never twisted my ankle. I've misstepped often, and sometimes there's a tiny bit of pain, but it usually resolves within a day, like 24 hours later, and it's gone. I've never had to use crutches or like I have issues with tendons more and like flexibility issues, but I've never really twisted my ankle. As a hypermobile person, I envy your ankles. Yeah, I'm not flexible at all. Though I don't know, like, if I was that stiff, would I hurt myself more? Anyway. Embrace the cringe and be your authentic self. Absolutely. As a boomer, we'd own houses and cars and leaf blowers and lawnmowers and what else? Annoying light setups that stay on all night. How is it even possible? Well, what is even possible? When I do certain yoga poses, it would be easy for my left hip, but the same poses. Yeah, I mean, I get that, but did you, like, is it something that is common to have, like, one side of the body that is more flexible? I feel like I have a bit of that too, and I see it mostly when I try to put on shoes. Like, one side is sort of much easier to put the shoe on without falling over, and with the other shoe, I struggle a bit more. But I wonder, like, what's the cause of that? Is it like an accident? Is it just human body? Is it... I once twisted my ankle, dislocated it, and broke my... Oh, dude, Lena, that sounds awful. Ouch. Your dominant side is usually less flexible, I think. Or more. We sound super old. I mean, we gotta be able to talk about this stuff amongst ourselves, because where else are we gonna be able to talk about this stuff? As long as we're not going into too much details of digestive issues, we're fine. So, did I... Oh, I didn't cut the other buttons here. Dominant is less flexible. Just my body. Well, I mean, that's relatable. I can't do anything with my left hand. Like, my left hand is really just a support for the right hand. It is so not coordinated with anything. And you can build up some level of coordination, but it really sucks. Like, if I try to write with my left hand, I write backwards. It's just uncooperative, like... But yeah, all that to say, not to diminish the way it can feel awful, but to say that you're not alone in this weird situation, a watercolorist. Be glad you can't see me trying poses. Back in the days, I could put on my shoes. Oh, and paints was only 3 cents. Oh yeah, and PO40, you know that's a long time ago if PO49 was available. Back in the days, Winsor & Newton had a bunch of gouache colors that were there just to be awesome. And they were not, like, taken away because of light fast issues, because it's gouache anyway, who cares? Yeah. Depends on side dominance and things like repetitive strain. I have to be careful of my posture while I use the dust mop in classrooms, so I would... Oh yeah, that's a really repetitive motion that you mostly do on one side. It's a bit like, you know, when you carry a crossbody purse and you always carry it on the same side. It adds up. I tried to switch my purse from size, but it's so weird to have it on the wrong side. Belly in the way of putting on my shoes. Yeah, same. The lousy high five, let's go. It's like, why are you so out of breath putting on your shoes? Because my belly is in the way. I am short, I am stocky, I am flubby, everything's in the way. No worries, I was 14 or so. It's all healed now. Do you still have some kind of remnants of discomfort or weird stuff that happens? In regards to the spots where you broke your leg, Lana. You can do the trick of mirror writing. Yeah, maybe. Maybe. Mirror writing, if it was done by a kid who just learned to write. That's about the level of... Writing backwards is good for your brain. I'm gonna have to do that more then, because woof. I have a tendency towards being ambidextrous. I write with my right hand, but I bat, golf, play hockey. Hey, Canada! Shit. What? Sorry. Yeah, play hockey. Go Canada! Left-handed. My dad, brother, and uncle are the same way. Huh. My dad is a bit ambidextrous because I think he was mostly left-handed, but at a time when you were told to not be left-handed, and they would force you to learn to work with your right hand. But yeah, otherwise I think all of my close family are or were right-handed. I don't remember what my mom was. All right. I'll make tea to go with the stream. Ooh! Let us know what kind of tea. Technically, I am in my 30s still, but not for many more years. Gone. Gone are the 30s forever. Ah! Okay, and my left hand tends to be a bit more precise than... Oh, really? Huh? If I really concentrate. I strain my arm by holding my phone too much. That... Oh, no! Oh, no, Yuri! Oh, no! Oh... The leg is fine. I wore a cast for 6 weeks and then physiotherapy for months to relearn walking. Still clumsy. Now the ankle hurts sometimes, but I can walk, hike normally. Oh, that's good. That's a good recovery. It made me a bit cautious so I don't run around as much because I fear falling and breaking stuff. But I walk a long distance, no problem. It breaks your leg in 3 places. It still hikes. Oh, definitely. I mean, hiking is fun. Hey, welcome back, Otto. I write with my right hand, but so many things feel more natural left-handed. Hubby gets endless frustrated that I want to hold the guitar backwards. I don't know why, but I think that's really funny. I mean, is it still usable upside down? Or do you need a different guitar? You probably need a different guitar, do you? I know a lot about guitars, if you can't tell. I've stitched together half of the wreath. Ooh! Dang! How's your hand? But my sister was left-handed and I'm sure it was mirroring her. Yeah, I broke my left ankle a little more than 10 years ago. It's made me more cautious in certain situations. And my knees are wearing 5-inch. Ooh, dude. Which I used to do because I'm such a tomboy that it was fun to blow people's minds. You show up like with full makeup, high heels, dresses, and people are like, what? And you're like, yeah, happens a few times a year. And then I think the only time I've worn high heels, I was quite young and people kind of laughed at me. And I was like, you know what? I don't think it's worth it. And I've never worn them since then. Even if I'm a shorty, I don't give a crap. Give me running shoes. Give me sneakers. All day, every day. I broke my arm 2 times too. Oh, dude. Ouch. Hiking is like... To me, hiking feels like the elevated way to go take walks. Because walks around a sort of suburban city area are really boring. The only interest is seeing cats. And I feel like hiking often is a bit more in nature, so you maybe have a bit more stuff to check out, and it sounds a bit more fun. Well, let's just say I'm currently icing my arm. Otto! Otto! Do I have to barge in there and kick your ass? Don't mess up your stupid thumb like I did. My feet get sore really quickly, but I would love to live next to a nature trail. Yeah, I agree. Same. There's a bunch of parks in the area, but they're like urban parks. So it's a bit of greenery and trees, but they're always jam-packed full of people. And it's trails that are mostly on, you know, asphalt. But it's not as fun. Need good shoes and the right socks. The good shoes are so important. You're German. Yeah, it is mean, but that's okay. Thankfully, the ankle healed well enough that I can easily do the 5-8 kilometers my job. Dude, that's fortunate. Be careful, hands are precious. Yeah, what Lana says. It's a real battle between looking after your arm, hand, and wanting to work on the project you're happy. Yeah, definitely, but still. I'm trying really hard, but God, I so want this project to be finished. It's making me super obsessed with it. Dropping out of things, so I just want it over. Oh, that doesn't sound fun, though. But still, I mean, I know it's hard, but it's much more of a good outcome to go a bit slower than to still struggle with pain in your hand a year later, you know? Oh, it is fun. It is too fun. Okay. Because I was like, what kind of obsession is it? Is it like this, you know, sometimes it can border on the negative obsession of like, I know I have this thing to do and I want it done as soon as possible, but without necessarily enjoying it. Does that make sense? But like being so focused on something because you enjoy it, that's a lot better. I feel like Germans take hikes very seriously. I mean, if you have the locales for it, I would definitely take it really seriously too. Oh no, something healthy. Ooh. I know. I'm gonna keep bothering you with this. Because it's kind of easy to forget, like, when you get really into it. And you think like, oh no, I've just been sewing for like 20 minutes and it's like 3 hours. And you're like, oh, maybe not then. Hello, Shiro. Hello, baby cat. Eight kilometers is about an hour and a half. It's a walk. You don't need special shoes for that or water. Well, yeah, it's doable. I mean, you can bring water if you want. And it's best to have like comfortable shoes, but you don't really need hiking shoes. You just need comfy shoes. For a hike, you need water and comfy sturdy shoes and snacks. Come on, what's the point of going on a hike if you don't bring trail mix? I feel like Germany is a good hike country. The Netherlands is too flat for it. Too much polder. What's a polder? Though, I mean, Netherlands is biking time. That's when the lack of hills is enjoyable. You can go fast. To be fair to myself, I am icing my arm as a precaution rather than it hurts so much it needs to be iced. Okay, that's good. Do you do ice and then warm and then ice and then warm? There are apps where you can give your location. It will tell you the closest hiking routes. Yeah, but the thing is for here, most of them would only be accessible by car, or they would be like weird. Sorry, I need water. They would be the weird like area in the middle of the island that's called Mont Royal that has a bit of a hike on it, but it's always so packed full of people. And Shiro and Chaz say hi. Sorry. I'm a high school custodian. My job is basically a hike every night with weight training and various yoga poses edited. I kind of like that. Certainly in the UK, apps like All Trails is great for finding interesting places to walk. But like you have hiking areas that you can go by bus or even by foot. Like you've shown me places, Otto, where you take pictures and you're on top of a hill in what is clearly a hiking trail, and we can see the city not too far off. So like with all the space that we have, we really don't have anything similar here. I wish we did, but America is kind of stupid for that. The one time I remember I got so mad at my at my friend from Switzerland because she was living in an apartment, and if she would just go down and out of the building and cross the street, there was a forest there and there were hiking trails, and I was like, why aren't you there every single day? What the heck? Ah! A polder is a piece of land reclaimed from the sea. Ooh! It's always super flat and just a field with straight road. And it's always so windy. But wind is awesome. I love wind. I do ice, then break, then ice. I feel like Like personally, when I've strained some muscles or when I know they've worked hard, I feel like warmth for me worked better than icing because it helps loosen everything. Like all the tension in the muscle. Whereas I feel like ice is more if you already have a lot of inflammation. That helps reduce inflammation, but warmth will be better for tension. Oh yeah, North America is hard to get anywhere by foot. Yeah, it's just stupid. That's true. You'll see a lot of elderly people here just for a casual bike ride. Absolutely. Like, the fact that there's no hills makes it so much easier. Like, I love using my bike, but oh my gosh, the hills sometimes. I will figure out a route to limit the the degree of ascension of a hill because dude, I'm not that healthy at all. That's too much for me. Are you in America? I'm in Canada. I'm in Quebec, Canada. There are also some hiking routes along medieval routes. Oh, that's so cool. Where you walk from castle to castle. Oh, that sounds amazing. That sounds like so much fun. Is it set up in a way that you can like visit that and be back home for dinner, or is it set up in a way where you can rent spaces in those monastery or in the surrounding areas to spend the night and then walk some more the next day? My town has a really nice natural area next to our cemetery. Stratford did a very smart thing by setting the riverside by a sparkling and not... I missed it. You just have to cycle the other way around. That way you'll have the wind in your back. And it's gonna go super fast. I do have a lot of inflammation. Oh, okay, I see. But yeah, for tension, like for muscles that have worked a lot, I feel like heat. I thought you were in Quebec. I am in Quebec. Well, Quebec is part of America, isn't it? It might be an odd part of America, but it's still part of America, unless I'm mistaken. Oh, I learned today the difference between cemetery and a graveyard. What is it? It is, though the town has crammed the sewage treatment plant. We have a partner by that's right along the spot in the city where they process all the compost for the city. So yeah, I know what you mean by you take a bike ride or a walk, and at some point of the whole thing, you kind of have to deal with the tasty old smell of composting. In the UK, there are a lot of disused rail tracks that are now hiking routes. They are so fun because you sometimes get to go through dark... Oh, that sounds so fun. Both. You can spend the night there and then go on the next town. Like long distance hikes where you... Oh, that sounds amazing. That sounds like super awesome fun. I love that. But you can also go by train, hike, visit a castle. Can you bike there? Do they allow you to use a bike? Like not a motorbike, just a regular bike. Graveyard is usually burial sites that are within a church's ground. Ooh, cemeteries are usually not attached to a church. Oh, that's interesting. Now, though there is always headwind, it is the everlasting presence of the Netherlands. It's the spirit of the Netherlands. I don't know how it works, but it's a legit thing that there's always a headwind. That's so funny. Ah. Maybe you're riding your bike too fast. Yeah, that's a possibility. Too fast. Oh, you could be the last airbender. That's also a very good point. And Chaz and Shiro are back again. I'm like, poor kitties, go back home. You both look like you're not having a lot of fun. Just here for the treats, but you've had so many treats today already. There's that saying, God made the world, but the Dutch made the Netherlands. And now God has given us e-bikes for our troubles. One does not simply choose to be the airbender. One must train hard before the headwind becomes the tailwind. Maybe that's why the Netherlands have such strong cyclists. I need yellow thread. I think it's this one. Bikes are honestly underrated, definitely. Oh, speaking of bikes, Ellen, I don't know what's your stance on public bike lanes, but I saw that Ontario wants to remove some bike lanes in downtown Toronto. I'm so annoyed on behalf of of the people there. I can't imagine. Like it's a big city center. You benefit from having more bike lanes, not less. What's nonsense? Now with the move, we consider to sell the car and just get bikes. Ooh, with a little hanger. Oh, that would be awesome. Yeah, you just gotta make sure that everything is accessible by bike, but for everything else that isn't, if it's a special occasion, you can always rent a car. Yuri, professional horse whisperer and the last airbender. Definitely. So far we have none, but I want that. require photos of that thing. But you need like a little sidecar like you get on motorcycles. But it's a little sidecar for Dante. Because with him aging, we need to trust. Yeah, exactly. Like if you can get it, if you can get to the vet in that setup, you're set. That's basically the only like really important travel location. It's the vet. That doesn't surprise me. Toronto is kind of dumb that way. However, when one considers how people drive in Toronto, I can see where safety is a concern. Give me a whiteout and glare ice on a dirt road any day. But that's the thing, is that like they're not doing it because it's not safe for the cyclists. They're doing it because it's affecting people with cars. Like, oh, there's a lot less parking spaces and a lot less blah blah blah. And it's the stupid Ford brother, the one that's still alive, sadly. But yeah, it's just like, I'm just very tired of this argument that like, oh, but bike lanes, they take away from cars. It's like, no, the other way around. I always end up having this argument with slightly older people or straight up boomers, is that they're like, yeah, but the bike lanes, then the cars are all stuck up. And you're like, yeah, but the whole idea of having bike lanes is that people will choose to use their bikes instead of using their cars because they're not going that far or whatever. So that will free up space on the car lanes for people who absolutely need to use their cars. That's the idea of it. And it's not a bad idea, but people are being so silly about it. Like, I would use my bike to get to places a whole lot more, but the thing is if I take my bike to go run errands, so I get there, and there is no parking for my bike, and when I figure out a place where I can attach my bike, it's not very safe. And then a lot of people like to mess up bikes that are attached, like to bend their wheels or steal the seats or... Oh, I totally picked the wrong thread color. I'm stupid. Good job, Ev. I need black thread, not yellow thread, you dumbass. But yeah, so it's like it's not taking away from people with cars. It's allowing it so there's more space for people who absolutely need cars. And yeah, if there was like parking spaces, like parking garages for bikes, like at the farmer's market or stuff like that, I would definitely use my bike a whole lot more. But the issue is that if I get with my bike anywhere, what do I do with my bike once I'm there? So we mostly use the bikes just for going on rides and then coming, like leaving here, going on the ride and coming right back here. But it's not the most practical solution. I would love to be able to use my bike to, you know, go to... Oh, we are all out of sugar and I need some for the recipe. Well, okay, so I'll be back in like half an hour instead of 10 minutes. Because I'm gonna go walk there. Because if I get there with my bike, like it's gonna get stolen or messed up or it's gonna stress me out. And I'm rambly. Ramble, damble, damble. Oh, I would assume it will be insurance companies pushing for the removal of the bike lanes. Heaven forbid they have to pay out for a change. Oh yeah, I mean, people die because of cars that are not being very mindful of the bike lanes, but I don't feel like that's the way forward to remove the bike lanes. I feel like the way forward is to have even more streets that are closed off to car traffic and are only for pedestrians and for bikes. Oh yeah, I've seen issues with parking lots, like no space or unsafe. Yeah, and we don't really have a culture of accessible, inexpensive bikes here. So you're like, okay, so I have a bike that cost me like a bunch of money, like a good few hundreds, almost like $1,000. Well, I'm not really that inclined to leave it attached to a random post along the street / sidewalk that, you know, the stuff could happen to it. Like, there's not a culture of using bikes as a way to get somewhere, so it's really difficult to find accommodations for that. Train stations are notorious for bikes being stolen. But at the same time, there are areas that they have specific parkings for bikes that are kind of walled off. And even sometimes they have gates like you have for parking garages. Like there will be someone working there and keeping an eye on stuff, you know. So it's the right way to do it. And it saves up so much space. You can park so many bikes in the space that you can park just a few cars. Can you imagine? Instead of having all that space be for the transportation of, like, I don't know, 3 to 9 people, you can have 10 times that number in bikes that you can fit in there. Especially if it's made up like in a way that you have a the kind of bike racks that you can put your bike upright. So it takes space vertically instead of on the ground. Oh, that's so cool. I'm not saying it's right or anything, just Dogford is finally able to get to that agenda of making his rich friends richer. After all that, having to care about people. And I just laugh because I see how reductive it is in comparison to society. Like, it's what's the opposite of progressing? It's regressing. I'm really bothered by that kind of mindset because I see a lot around me, and it bothers me that for so many people the thing they jump to, not you, Ellen, but I'm talking like my dad or landlord or whatnot. Like, it's automatically like cars are the best thing, and I'm like, that's such an out of touch way of seeing all this. And also this kind of mindset that, like, if something is changed, it's all about taking something away from you, you know? Like, oh, the bike lane, they're taking away something for the cars. It's like, no, it's adding to the really vast means of transportations that are available in the city, you know? It means that less and less people will take their cars to drive their kids up to school in the morning, so the streets will be a whole lot safer because there will be less cars on them. It's not either or, it's in addition to. Like, it adds, it doesn't take away. It's just stupid. Is the bike black hole an erupt that comes up through? Is there a bike black hole in Europe that comes out through a white bike hole? What do you mean? All the bikes sort of reappear in Japan? Oh no, yeah, in the Netherlands, all the bikes end up in the canals. That's that's so striking to see, like, the big cranes and machines like going in the canal. You see them work, grabbing stuff at the bottom, and then they pull back up, and it's just like 30 bikes all tangled up, and you're like, what the heck? That's so many bikes. What? How? Maybe it's the European bikes magically appearing in Japan, and because their owners can find them there, everyone thinks they're abandoned. That's why I'm not high on the idea of personal electric vehicles. They're not focused. Yeah, exactly. The same for electric cars. It's great, but it's not actually focusing on the real problem of things. Yeah, we agree on that, Ellen. Also, the anti-bike lane comments from my dad were really rich, because for most of his work life before he retired, he would go to work on his bike. So I was like, you're not really one to talk. Like, you would use your bike in the winter, and you would add like screws to the tires to give them grip on the ice, and you would do all this just to be able to use your bike to go to work, because it was like a 3-minute bike ride away. And you didn't feel like walking, but taking the car would be stupid. So it's basically that, but more. It's absolutely the best when it works. I wish it was more of a well-known thing, I guess. I don't know. We already have more bikes than people here. I wonder how many it will be when we count the bikes. Dude. If the bikes at the bottom of the canals weren't all messed up by being brought up back to the surface, I would be like, dude, send these over here. We'll clean them up, and we'll do something with them. Though I guess they get repurposed in the Netherlands as well. But I would love to have a Netherlands type bike that is inexpensive, really more intended for public transit in a way, because some models I've seen, they come with locks that are integrated into the bike frame, so you don't necessarily need to carry a bunch of bike locks with you all the time. You maybe need one to attach it to the bike rack, but there's one that is part of the frame and will block the wheel in the back, I think. Like, just awesome stuff. But no. Like, why are we sleeping on this revolutionary technology? The stuff that's probably like decades old, that works and that doesn't look very expensive, and yeah, that's better. Right. The weird thing is, Dutch boomers do that too. They cycle everywhere, yet complain about cycle infrastructure taking space from cars. What the? No. No, we don't have locks on our bikes. The locks are entirely optional. Like, it's not even optional, it's an extra thing that you have to buy separately. Like, you have to get a U-lock or a chain or any kind of way to lock your bike. There is no locking mechanism on the bike itself. And also, like I said, we don't really have an accessible, affordable range of bikes that are totally unappealing to steal. We either get like really old, like you get vintage bikes for cheap maybe, and then all kinds of new bikes are relatively expensive, and often, regardless of what the bike is, it's always a target for stealing. which sucks. Sorry, which absolutely sucks. Can you imagine, like, you bike 20 minutes to go do an errand and you come back out and your bike is gone? Or also equally terrible, you come back and your bike is there but the seat is gone. And you're like, well, I don't carry an emergency seat in my backpack, so how am I supposed to get home on a bike that has no seat? Doesn't sound fun. Huh, that's really interesting. I thought every bike came with that. No, I wish. I wish. I got a deal on my last bike and it was still almost... Exactly! Like, I got a... Because I still love dearly and I still would use if I had the space for it. But I would love to use my old bike that I got as a kid. Because I didn't grow at all between getting that bike and now. And it was about easily 30 years old by now, that bike. So it's kind of old. I can't speak anymore. It's old, it's heavy. And I was very thankfully gifted a bike as a birthday gift this year. And we got a bike that's pretty cool, but very basic at the same time. Like, it's just, you know, it's a regular bike. It has brakes, it has a speeds, and that's it. Like, if you want a water holder, that's an option. If you want a I'm losing all my words. If you want to have storage on your bike, if you want mud guards, if you want any kind of extra, it's extra. And that was still a $1,000 bike. What the... Who steals bike seats? I wish I knew. Seats being stolen is the pest. My friends with expensive bikes take the seat off and take them. Yeah, you kind of have to. And oftentimes you kind of need two locks. Because in a lot of cases, you might not be able to lock together, or you need a really long lock, but you kind of need a way to lock together your frame and your front wheel and the bike rack. Because if you can only attach, like, your frame to whatever you're attaching it to, there are also there's also chances of having your front wheel stolen if it's not secured, like, properly. Mais c'est Fluffy. Salut chat. I buy ones with quick release seats so I can take it with me when I have to chain it up. I wish we didn't have to do that. It's not like conducive to wanting to use the bike for everything. Like, you kind of need to bring luggage with you so you can carry your wheel, your seat, your helmet, your lock, you know. It's not just, oh, I need butter, I'll be right back. It's like, well, I need butter, so too bad, we'll have to wait for next time, or I'll go on foot and it's gonna take... It's not gonna be the same kind of quick errand. It is strange and stupid. I wish it wasn't a thing, but yeah, it is. And my thought is always like, but who buys this stuff, you know? Who do you go to with your bike seats, like your 3 bike seats that you stole at the farmer's market? Like, hey man, I have bike seats to sell. That's not weird at all. You can leave all sorts of stuff in front of your house and no one steals stuff. Well, you kind of have to enable the stealing for that kind of stuff. You have to put, like, to donate on the stuff. Because, yeah, to some extent, if stuff is not very clearly donation or for free, people will kind of be more hesitant. But I don't know why bikes get such a mistreatment. oftentimes when we would have an errand to do while on a bike, like let's say we need to go get a litter for the cats. That's a bit further away. It's kind of a lengthy, slightly annoying walk because it's further away. And it's much faster to do so using bikes. But what we would do is we would, the two of us would go and one of us would get in the store and purchase what we need and the other one would wait outside with the bikes. So we didn't have to like lock them up the bike rack. This sounds very inconvenient. I'm sorry you guys have to deal with this shit just to get... It's so stupid. Maybe someone who gets a cheap used one on eBay or so. But I don't know. I mean, maybe if it's a... It's kind of weird because if it's a fancy seat, you have to be knowledgeable enough about bikes to know that it's fancy and that it has resale value. But if you know enough about bikes in that way... Like, doesn't that make you extra despicable to then steal bikes? I don't know. But if there's to donate on the stuff, it's not stealing. Yeah, but I mean, it's like this, it's kind of the same. If you put something outside, like do you mean you leave something outside that you want to keep? And it stays there forever, but I mean, like sometimes we put stuff outside and it stays there because we didn't put a to donate sign on it. But the moment we put a to donate sign on it, someone grabs it. So it's like people are hesitant to steal from your front lawn, but not from a bike rack or something. Litter is heavy too. Yeah, it's kind of heavy. It's usually Mr. E that holds it back in a backpack. And we used to do that. We don't necessarily have to do it as much anymore because it used to be that they would have us pay extra for delivering the litter bags because they're heavy. But the place we get our cat stuff from has changed delivery services and now there is no extra charge associated with getting litter bags. So we only need to go in person when their site is all weirded up and we can't order it. I'm gonna finish sewing this feet, and that's gonna be the end of the stream because, as you can probably tell, I'm losing my English and my voice already. I don't talk a lot. Like, we're relatively quiet people in here, and we don't see a lot of people. So this stretch of me rambling for 2 hours is about the most talking I do in one go for the whole week.
Pico.
Salut Pico! Pico! Tu veux-tu dire bonjour à Otto? Pico, Pico! Pico! Non, va-t'en pas! Pico, reviens! Je vais te l'attraper! Je vais te l'attraper! Mais non, je sais que tu veux juste de l'amour, là. C'est pas mon gros gâteau. Ouch, elle est toute contente. Pico! Pico le raton! Tu viens m'aider à faire des pingouins, Pico le raton? Je peux-tu monter ça un peu? Parce que tout ce qu'on voit, c'est du poil. He's purring so loud. Salut pépette. Can you hear the purring? Oh my god, Pico. That's super bright. Ben oui, t'es toute contente. T'es toute contente. Kelly. Oh, t'es belle. Oh, she's drooling everywhere. T'arrêtes pas de bever partout. Qu'est-ce qui se passe? She's a loud purr. Scout is not a loud purr, she's a subtle purr. But this one. Hold on. I have limited range with my camera because of the. I bave partout. She's drooling all over. That's gross. Yuck. Gross. She's redoing my filming setup. Drooling all over me. Eh, mademoiselle, tu t'en vas comme ça. Pickle, can you come back? Non, beurre, arrête là, c'est bon. Viens par ici. Gross in French, we would say dégueu, which is short for dégueulasse. No, I have put away all the needles. Yeah, no, I mean definitely, I would never like leave needles around if there's a cat. It's one of my one of my terrors. I'm always terrified of a cat finding a needle. You know, like I'm not that terrified of, let's say, starting the dryer and there's a cat in there, because I know they don't tend to go there, but I know how bad needles and threads are for cats, so I'm always like extra ridiculously cautious about threads and needles, because I know these guys are stupid and I love them so much, but they are very dumb. Hold on, let me see if I can pickle. Is that a bit better? Ouais, salut mon pic-pic. Nope. I agree that purring is the best kind of ASMR and the only one that I can stand. Either that and like wave sounds. That's fine. Oh, baby. Ellen, does Oreo likes to chew on aluminum foil? That's the one thing we have to always like hide or store in the fridge until it's recycling day, because apparently aluminum foil is tasty. She's a baby, she's a very old lady. It's Pickle the kitty. Bon, qu'est-ce que tu as trouvé là? I haven't given him the opportunity, but I will be aware of that. Yeah. I mean, they don't like stepping on it and whatnot, but when you have like, let's say you bunch up you fold over and you bunch up an aluminum sheet to put it in the recycling, they like to, well, one of my cat, I think it was Scout, but she liked to chew on it. Don't, oh, t'es belle. Don't ask me why, but t'es toute belle. You're so pretty. You're happy you have your fan club. Is that a framed picture of Linus on your desk? Absolutely. I have 2 frames of Linus. There's another one here. I don't know if you'll be able to see. Oh, it's just a glare, but that's another Linus. And I have 2 frames of Linus, and I have photos of him. I have a photo of him that was on a birthday card that Linus's mom gave me. His one brush has metal tines, and he absolutely must give them a Hey, mademoiselle. You can witness here the perfect little pause of the kitty. I hope I am filming the little pause of the kitty. Reminds me of how Greta likes to lick her main brush. And this one likes to chomp on her brush as well. But it's not metal tines. It's a boar bristle brush that was meant for humans, but apparently raccoons, pickle raccoons, really like them. I'm so glad you're able to keep up with how... Me too. Oh my gosh, me too. That was the hardest thing I had to do in a really long while, so I'm really glad I can get like frequent updates and eventually visit too. It's a bit complicated because everyone's busy, and Linus's mom lives kind of far from me on the island, but yeah, still we have the options of visiting. T'es bien toi? T'es toute belle, Picou. Oui. T'es toute belle. Linus is so gorgeous. He really is. He's such a cute little guy. All right. Do you wanna say goodbye to them? Hey, Picou. How do you say goodbye to them? By being very pretty? Oh, that's good. You're doing a great job. Fini les flats? You're so lucky we live so far apart. If we were locals, I might just put pecks into my bag when I visit. Well, I mean, you would be quickly betrayed because unless allergies don't manifest by sneezing or whatnot, there would be some sneezing happening. Pico is like, no, I'm good. I shall please my adoring puppy. You're still purring, but you don't want any pets anymore. And you would like me to shut up, right? I don't want to say goodbye. They like you. They like you. You don't like me talking to you. When I talk, her tail starts batting just a little bit. A very mild sign of annoyance. She's such a grand old dame. Did you hear that? She is very sweet when she wants to, because a lot of times she's busy doing her cat things, but every once in a while she'll come asking for pets, or adoring fans, or food. I don't think you guys can see, but she has little white hairs on her ears, and it's really, really cute. Oh, you don't want me to show it? Okay, okay. We scratch the chin. Yeah, we do. Have a great week, Yuri. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you have a good night. All right, my hand is getting numb, so that's gonna be the end of it. Oh. Pico, do you have any last words? Sniff, sniff, sniff. Well, thank you so much, everyone, for being here. I really appreciate it, as usual. It's always a lot of fun, and we had a great ender today, a great ending. A visit from our resident Kitty that I don't know if you've noticed, but I've put her more in my videos with the duck sound, and it fits her really well. So yeah, have a great weekend from the two of us. Team Ginger here, and hopefully I'll be able to stream next week. Same time, same space. If there's anything, I'll let you guys know. And until then, I hope you have a great week. Oh, Pico is done. So, bye guys. Don't show them your bum. Oh my god, Pico.